Tidrick's quality transmissions. Come see us today. Thank you.
Do you have an old crap can like this taking up space in your driveway? Are you still holding on to your old high school whip? Did your aunt run off to Alaska with her boyfriend and leave her shitbox Cadillac sitting next to your house? If so, call Woffords Towing. They haul off junk cars just like these, and they even pay you cash for those old clunkers. So let's recap. We take your pile of crap, we put it in our state-of-the-art pancake maker, and we squeeze out all the cash. Woffords Towing and Auto Wrecking, 201 South Frontage Road, Wapato, 509-877-4944.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Hello and welcome race fans to the iRacing Northwest Tour provided by Joe's Racing Products. Race number 2 here tonight, the Tidricks Quality Transmissions 115 at the beautiful Richmond Raceway. I'm Justin Kolb alongside Greg Rentz, and Rentz just got done with a pretty good B main. What'd you see out of that you liked?
I definitely liked what I saw out of Ryan Worley in the number 15. He started 18th after having problems with his qualifying lap. They only took 6 from the B main in a 50-lap race. Ryan Worley going from 18th to 5th to finish it out. Actually, he finished 4th in the B main as he got around Rusty Webb in the closing stages. So definitely liked what I saw out of last weekend's 3rd place finisher, going from 18th to 4th in just 50 laps. 115 laps of distance tonight. I like what I see out of that 15 car, Ryan Worley.
Absolutely. So before we get going here tonight, why don't we take you through the point standings as of last week from USA. A good race we had over there, and 2 notables that we'll get to that are not in the field here tonight. So on top you have Jason Berg, a fast car last week and a fast car this week, on top with 112 points. Then you have just below him, 4 points behind, Ryan Worley. You just mentioned him, Greg. Definitely a fast car here tonight. Didn't get to show it in qualifying. Sean Breitzman in 3rd, 10 points behind the leader, Jason Berg. Matt Hackthorne, not in the A main here tonight. Greg, you can attest that didn't have much time in the car here tonight and just barely made it into the B main. So, unfortunately, did not make the A main tonight. So he'll have to watch from the sidelines. Definitely going to drop a bit in points here tonight. Mathew Kingsbury, 15 behind our point leader. In 5th, Scott Mann in 6th, 17 behind. Andy Fuller as well, not in the field here tonight for the A main. Didn't make it out of the B, so you'll have to watch from the sidelines as well. Donovan Stevens in 8th, 26 points behind. James Paulson in 9th, 28. And rounding out your top 10 is Garrett Huffines, 30 points behind. So some of these guys will have their work cut out for them here tonight, Greg.
A lot of guys with their work cut out for him. Second race of the year. It was Travis McKinney taking home the B main win here tonight at Richmond. Led all 50 laps, but top of the practice charts right now is the guy who was the winner last weekend at USA International, Mathew Kingsbury, looking good for 2 in a row. But tonight's race brought to you by Tidrick's Quality Transmission, serving the Yakima and surrounding areas with quality products and quality service. That's Tidrick's Quality Transmission, our sponsor tonight for tonight's 115-lap main event. And it was Seth Fraser, number 2, setting fast time tonight, so he will roll off 16th due to the invert. Rolling off on the pole with the 16th qualifying position will be the number 3 of Daniel Masters.
Yes, and the 6 who advanced from the B main here tonight. Travis McKinney was that winner of the B main. Bruce Weaver came home in 2nd, Josh Robinson 3rd, Ryan Worley in 4th, Rusty Webb 5th, and Chris Walters rounded out your top 6 who advanced in terms of standings of the B main. Daryl Tidrick and Todd Connell were your provisionals for the points of last year, who also made it in to the A main. So the field is set. These guys just doing a bit more practice, and then we'll be set to roll here tonight at Richmond Raceway.
24 cars getting set to go 115 laps in the Tidrick's Quality Transmissions 115 here at Richmond Raceway. Race number 2 on the iRacing.com Northwest Tour, brought to you by Joe's Racing Products. As practice just winding down, we're in the closing stages of that practice. It's Kingsbury with the fastest lap so far at a 21.280. But not far back, just 1/100th, the 46 of Sean Brightsman, the top 5 last weekend at USA. He sits second at a 21.298. Caden Anderson, Dylan Huffines, and your quick time setter Seth Fraser rounding out the top 5.
As you just mentioned, tonight's series sponsor, Joe's Racing Products. They're a manufacturing company that has produced innovative and quality products for the racing industry for more than 28 years. They were established in a small garage in 1989. And Joe has grown the company to a staff of more than 45 employees in a 25,000 square foot facility that is full of state-of-the-art CNC machinery, along with several full-time welders. We thank Joe's Racing Products for sponsoring the series tonight, and we're in for a good one. Also want to thank Track Cams 4 Gourmet for the track cams you will be seeing here tonight. Should be a good one here at Richmond Raceway. If you want to download the pack or learn more, it's www.trackcams22.com or facebook.com/trackcams.
So we get set for 115 laps here at Richmond. And like you said, when we went through the points, all eyes on the number 98 of Mathew Kingsbury, winner last weekend, currently top of the charts in practice, but he's back a little bit in the points as opposed to some of the other guys. So keep an eye on Kingsbury, who's going to be looking to start it off with 2 straight wins tonight in that 98 car.
Absolutely. That car was magical once it took the lead last week at USA. On top of the board at the moment. See if he can make to the front here tonight and pull that same move as he did last week, as he just absolutely pulled away once he got that lead, never looked back. Should be fun seeing a lot more of these guys and seeing what they can do here at the little bit larger Richmond Raceway. This track is a little bit more difficult than USA. Kind of has the same problems, though, as last week's track, where it's really turn 2 wall that, Greg, you saw a little bit too, can really be a trouble spot for some of these drivers.
Yeah, that was the problem in practice all week long. That was the common trend, was turn number 2 exit. That was the problem in practice all week long. We saw that in the B main a little bit as well. So a lot of guys saying turn 2 is going to be the problem spot. But we've seen a couple issues off turn number 4 so far as well. A lot of them in the B main, actually.
All right, should be interesting. While we got some time here, Greg, why don't we pull someone up and see if you can't dial them up? Who you want to pull up?
I kind of want to see what our winner from last week and current quick time, Mathew Kingsbury, I kind of want to see what's going through his head right now as he's back on top of the charts. Hey, Mathew Kingsbury, Greg Rents in the tower, you got a copy?
I think he just stepped out. Try one more time here.
Try one more time. Matt Kingsbury, Greg Rents in the tower, you got a copy?
Just missed him. All right, well, who was your number 2 off that list, Greg?
Let's see if we can catch up with the guy who set fast time here tonight. Number 2, Seth Fraser, driving the Pete Harding tribute tonight. Pete Harding, a racer here in the Northwest for 50 years, just called it a career after half a century behind the wheel of a race car. Seth Fraser paying tribute to the 3-time NASCAR Northwest Tour champion from British Columbia, Canada. We'll catch up with him now. Seth Fraser, Greg Rents in the tower, you got a copy?
Yeah.
All right, Seth, fast time tonight. You're starting 16th. You got the Pete Harding tribute car out here at Richmond this weekend. Do you like your chances to try to pick your way through the field here for 115 laps this evening?
Well, that'll be interesting. I don't know how much tire conservation will come into play here, so I'm not sure if I'll be charging to the front early on or not, but I think we have a pretty good shot at it.
All right, Seth, starting 16th. Who do you think's the guy you're going to have to work around the most? Who's the guy you're looking for to be your stiffest competition as you try to make your way up there?
Well, Berg's tough every week, but I think this week you're going to see Bart Hector Jr. I think he's going to be the guy to beat this week.
All right, we'll let you go get any last couple of minutes of practice in. Seth Fraser, driver of the number 2. Good luck tonight, sir.
Thanks, guys. Have fun.
And that was Seth Fraser. You mentioned Jason Berg, the number 21, finished second last week. He set fast time at USA International, worked his way up to the 2nd spot. But he also mentioned the other yellow card, number 82, Bart Hector Jr., as he has been up in the top 5 all day long. Good to see Hector back up after a rough go last week at USA, Justin.
Yes, sir. And before we get racing here tonight, I want to deliver you your national anthem here. All right, that was your national anthem here tonight for the Tidricks Quality Transmissions. 1:15 about set to get underway here. Getting pretty close. These guys, looks like practice is finished up. Just going through a few quick reminders there on pit road. And the racing here tonight, though the track is bigger and a little bit faster, racing for the same, or for the most part, Greg, should be about the same. Or you're going to want to ring it around the bottom and see if any guys are going to be a little bit more brave getting it to the top.
I'm actually expecting a few guys to run up near the top. We came up with a really good setup here this weekend that'll run both top and bottom. Our setup guys did a great job putting it together, so I'm expecting a few guys to really try to test the limits of the outside with this one. I'm expecting a lot of side-by-side racing, especially in the beginning. I'm kind of curious who's going to be the ones to brave the outside to start the race. I know in practice, quick time Seth Fraser was doing a lot of running on the outside, couple more cars doing it as well. But I'm expecting about 50-50 to start the race, and I think as the race goes on, we'll see guys navigate towards the bottom. But for the beginnings of the race, I'm expecting some guys to try and make the top lane work.
As this track's gotten older, it seems like more and more guys have tried to go towards the top. So good to hear that we got a setup that can run both lanes, and if the B main was any sort of indication on the racing we should see here tonight, we're in for a great show in terms of side-by-side racing. So, guys getting ready to grid up, why don't we take you through the starting grid here tonight? It'll be Daniel Masters on the pole as of the inversion. James Paulson will start in the second position next to him on the outside. That is your front row. Garrett Huffines will start in third there. BJ Tidrick will start in fourth. Josh Childress will round out your top five there. On the inside, Mathew Kingsbury will start right next to him on the outside in the sixth position. Dylan Huffines will start in seventh. Donovan Stevens will start in the eighth position. As pace cars gets to roll, it'll be 2 laps here tonight. Sean Breitzman will start in ninth, and Vernon Margheim will round out your top 10 here, Greg.
Absolutely, top 10 in the books. We got Devin Petty, Caden Anderson making his debut, rolling off in the 12th spot. Scott Mann, you mentioned Jason Berg earlier. He's one of the guys to watch in this series. He'll roll off in the 14th position. The top 2 in qualifying, the 2 yellow cars on the track, Bart Hector Jr., the 82, and quick time tonight, Seth Fraser in the 2. Rounding out your top 16 who are taken from qualifying. B-main winner, Travis McKinney, going to roll off 17th along with Bruce Weaver. Josh Robinson, and the guy who turned a lot of heads in that B-main, going from 18th starting position to 4th place finishing position. Ryan Worley going to roll off in the 20th spot, Justin.
Rusty Webb will start in the 21st position here tonight. Christopher Walters will start in the 22nd spot. That is your B main entrance that raced their way in. Todd Connell will start in 23rd, and Daryl Tidrick will start in 24th. Those two got their way in on provisionals here tonight. So 1 lap of pacing in the books, getting set to go green here, Greg. About to roll off. What do you expect to see here tonight?
I'm expecting a lot of patience shown from the guys near the back around the 12th of 16th starting spot. Expecting them to be patient here in the early stages of this one. We saw a lot of kind of incidents / action in the B main that could have been avoided, I would say. We're going green.
And it seemed like a lot of guys were kind of impatient back there. Saw the 77 of Josh Childress giving a few bumps to the car in front of him, as well as a few guys in the back. But that was a great start by the 3 of Daniel Masters. He's going to try and hold off the 42 there of Garrett Huffines.
And Huffines, he was a leader early last weekend at USA International. Led a good chunk of the early portion, trying to track down Daniel Masters for second. Masters has led the first couple of laps, but Huffines not going away in that 42 car here.
Fantastic side-by-side racing for up towards the front, a little towards the back as well. Your first side-by-side battle for 4th there. The 80 of James Paulson and Sean Breitzman fighting for that 4th spot.
And Breitzman came away with a top 5 last weekend at USA International. Currently, He has just got the nose in front of outside pole sitter Paulson, trying to clear him for the 4th spot. He will off turn number 2. So Sean Breitzman looking for back-to-back top 5s to start the year off, doing a good job of it so far, riding in the 4th spot. But here comes the younger Huffines. This is Dylan Huffines now taking a peek to Paulson for the 5th spot.
I'm not sure if the camera caught it there, but they were 3 wide down that front straightaway. You were talking about it being calm, and it's all but that towards the back. 3 wide doesn't really work here at Richmond, but everybody trying to get positions where they can. That battle for 5th looks like it's simmered down just a little bit. Dylan Huffines has claimed it. And The 80 of James Paulson will try and fight back there in 6th now. Is top 5, all single file, all the way back to, it looks like, this is...
First side-by-side battle will be the 48 of McKinney and the 2 of Fraser. And like I thought, Seth Fraser, he was testing that outside lane in practice. He's really the one making the move right now.
The leader into the wall up towards the front. Garrett Huffines trying to take advantage of that. Got a word that he smacked it pretty good. Here comes the 77 of Josh Childers underneath the 42 to try and take advantage of the lost momentum down the back straightaway.
And don't look now, because Brightsman taking a peek, looking for 3 wide there, as Master is able to pull away. Doesn't look like the hit to the wall slowed him down any, but Josh Childress making the inside lane work. He gets to the second, clears him off turn number 2, trying to pull Brightsman with him. Looked like Huffines may have caught the wall again off turn 2.
I really thought that Brightsman was going to make that 3 wide. Instead, wisely stays behind, and he will get the 3rd spot away from the 42 of Garrett Huffines. That battle is simmered down. Battle
New
just
leader,
behind
Josh
that.
Childress just got the lead from Daniel Masters. He made that pass look easy going into turn number 1. Josh Childress to the lead, but Masters not letting it go away easily.
Now the fight is on for 2nd. Masters going to try and hold on to 2nd. Brightsman underneath. Going to try and take that position away as well. See if Garrett Huffines can't follow in suit and take this 3rd spot away, as Masters getting hung out on that outside.
And Huffines followed by his brother Dylan. Normally we would think that goes well having your brother behind you, but we saw last week at USA International that didn't go so well for those two.
Absolutely. You mentioned it was a awkward ride to school, as Garrett gonna look to get that position away from Daniel. Saw the damage on that right front. Looked pretty good. Don't know if it'll do any damage to the suspension or not, as Daniel will finally find a spot on the inside in 4th.
Side-by-side battle behind them between Devin Petty and James Paulson. Looks like Paulson's going to come away with the spot for now. No, he comes fighting back on the outside. Petty's the one with the spot behind Huffines. And Caden Anderson, who's making his first start of the year, trying to sneak up there as well. Not a lot of movement from the guys that started near the back of the pack. Seth Fraser has only moved up 1 spot from his 16th starting spot. Ryan Worley, a guy we expected to make some moves early on in this one, he's all the way back in his starting spot. He hasn't gone up anywhere.
Battle for the lead. Sean Brightsman underneath the 77 of Josh Childress. Makes it look easy, takes the spot, and he'll dive it down into 1 with a good 2-3 car length advantage over the 77. The 3 of Daniel Masters in trouble just behind, got really out of the groove, and is continuing to lose spots in that number 3.
So what? Yeah, the contact with Dylan Huffines there kind of knocked him out of the groove a little bit, but Daniel Masters, early race leader, leading the opening 6 or 7 or odd laps, falling now outside the top 5 into the 7th spot. Now 8th is Scott Mann able to make the pass on him, but Masters comes fighting back on the outside. Looks like that outside lane's starting to come in a little bit.
Saw that contact with the 7 on the replay there, and the 80 made contact, and it's starting to get pretty ugly back there.
The 2 yellow cars, Fraser and Hector, continuing to do battle. Neither of them really making moves to the front right now. They've each gained a couple of spots, as Hector going to the outside now of Donovan Stevens. He was the B-main winner last weekend at USA. Qualified into the A-main tonight with the 5 car of Stevens, so didn't have to worry about going back-to-back B-main wins, but struggling right now, starting in the 8th spot. This is the battle for 12th right now, and Hector trying to make the outside lane work. Now the other yellow car, Seth Fraser, falling in line behind him, and Hector is going to clear Stevens, so Hector moves up another spot. He's up into the 12th spot now.
The 98 Mathew Kingsbury last time by just about lost the rear end of that car, was able to catch it, and last week's winner is struggling a little bit back there in the 17th position. He's trying to work his way up along with some of the other guys who are trying to work their way up. I think Ryan Worley just about lost the rear end as well off turn 2.
And Kingsbury, you mentioned him. He started in the 6th position. He's currently battling out with Bruce Weaver for the 16th spot. So Kingsbury, last week's winner, he has fallen back 10 spots now as they think about going 3 wide in front of him. That's BJ Tidrick, Donovan Stevens, and Jason Berg kind of the monkey in the middle. Berg did a good job to back out of it to protect it there. That's going on right in front of Kingsbury. Now they're 3 wide off turn number 4, and BJ Tidrick gets washed up into the marbles and loses a couple spots.
Tidrick, the real loser in that scenario, got forced up to the really high line there, and looks like he's going to almost get hit by the 47 of Josh Robertson, and Robertson going to go around on the back straightaway. Contact behind the 0-2, climbs the wall.
Contact with the 15 of Ryan Worley is what sent Robinson around. Tough break for Robinson, fighting it out with BJ Tidrick, and around he goes off turn number 2.
Light contact with the 15 and didn't take much. And the 0-2 climbing the wall. Saw a crash similar to that in the B main. Not sure if it was the same car, but definitely seemed like the nose just caught the wall at a weird spot and pulled a Jason Leffler from 2010. Or Casey Kane. There's the 0-2. Checked up and with all that momentum just got into the back of, not sure who that was in front of him, but didn't take much for that car to climb the wall. So first caution out here tonight at lap 22.
Top 5 right now on lap 22. Sean Breitzman leading the way from the 9th starting position, using some patience to work his way up into the lead. Josh Childress sitting in 2nd right now. Garrett Huffines, no positions gained, but he's had to battle a few times, but he's back into the 3rd spot. His younger brother Dylan in the 4th position, rounding out the top 5, is Devin Petty in the 12, and looks like we have a few penalties from this little incident. Looks like Ryan Worley, Jason Berg, and Mathew Kingsbury all given penalties. They're not sure what happened with the 21 of Berg or the 98 of Kingsbury. We know Ryan Worley probably got the penalty from the contact with Robinson, but we'll have to go back and see if we could try to figure out what happened with Berg and Kingsbury.
All right, well, that was your top 5. Going to step away here for just a quick second. We'll see you when we go green.
Do you have an old crap can like this taking up space in your driveway? Are you still holding on to your old high school whip? Did your aunt run off to Alaska with her boyfriend and leave her shitbox Cadillac sitting next to your house? If so, call Woffords Towing. They haul off junk cars just like these, and they even pay you cash for those old clunkers. So let's recap. We take your pile of crap, we put it in our state-of-the-art pancake maker, and we squeeze out all the cash. Woffords Towing and Auto Wrecking, 201 South Frontage Road, Wapato, 509-877-4944.
Greg, bring her back.
And back here at the Tidricks Quality Transmission 115 at the Richmond Raceway, with Sean Breitzman leading the way, 24 laps on clock right now, working lap 24 of 115. It's Breitzman, Childress, the Huffines brothers, Garrett in the 42, Dylan in the 7, and Devin Petty rounding out your top 5 as we get set to go back green, Justin.
Yes, sir, and those guys are getting really racy in the back. Expect the same thing here as we have our first restart of the night. 46, Sean Breitzman up and away for that restart. Josh Childress looks like he'll be able to hold on to that 2nd spot, and the Huffine brothers going at it for that 3rd spot.
Man, that was a great restart by race leader Sean Breitzman in the 46, and Childress taking advantage of that to just fall in right behind him as the Huffines brothers go side by side into turn number 3. It looks like Dylan might have that outside lane working as he had a nose in front of his brother Garrett, but Garrett comes fighting back on the inside.
Still fighting hard as they head into turn number 1 once again. Dylan will take the advantage, entering 1, will clear Garrett, and will try and start the hunt for that 2nd spot as well as the lead, as they're all single file for good ways back. And as soon as I say that, the 48 jumps to the high side of the 3.
That's the B main winner, Travis McKinney. Don't look now, because Caden Anderson, the 37, up into the top 5. He got around Devin Petty there on the restart. But man, look at the 48 car. He's making moves. Is the B main winner, Travis McKinney. He's up into the 9th spot right now, trying to go after pole sitter Daniel Masters for 8th. He's got it into turn 3.
Absolutely. Greg, you were just mentioning how you were expecting more people to use the high side, and boy, did he use that to perfection. Gets the spot And just ahead of him, it looks like Dylan Huffine's going the wrong way, stuck on the outside.
That's Garrett in the 42, actually, the older brother to Dylan. He is going the wrong way as he has fallen now, battling it out with Scott Mann. Looks like he's fallen out of the top 5. We'll see for sure when they cross the strike. Yes, he is 6th, and he's in danger of losing 6th to Scott Mann. And here comes Travis McKinney following suit as well. Big problems for the 42 of Garrett Huffines.
Just behind that, almost looked like the 36 of Bruce Weaver got out of shape just a little bit. He hangs on to it as that battle still goes on between Garrett and now Scott Mann there in the 90. And continuing to lose more spots. The 48 going to try and get underneath Garrett as well. See if he can't make the move off turn 2. He does not.
And that looks like it may cost him, as here comes Seth Fraser, who set fast time tonight in qualifying. He's making the outside lane work. He was really the pioneer of the high lane, I guess you could say, here at Richmond in practice earlier this week. Seth Fraser really had that 2-car hooked up on the outside.
Oh!
Contact! Jason Berg trying to save it! Yes! No, he loses it. And a big wreck behind him.
That's a lot of cars around. Should be caution now, and there it is.
Boy, I thought Jason Berg was going to save that. My screen snuck away for a split second, and he couldn't hang on to it. But man, oh man, points leader Jason Berg. Jason Berg contacted Daniel Masters. Fought that thing to the end, but just couldn't hang on to it.
He absolutely did. Just got clipped by the 36 of Bruce Weaver. That ultimately set that car spinning around, and there was the contact with the 3 of Daniel Masters and the 21. I saw just behind the blue car and Jason Berg making contact, and that's ultimately what kind of sent everyone around.
Almost getting caught up, and that was the 82 of Hector. Missed that one by a couple of feet. Did a good job to hang on to it. Looks like one car pulling into the pits. That is the 88 of Rusty Webb as well. Jason Berg, the 21. So a couple of guys coming in for some adjustments. BJ Tidrick in as well. Chris Walters in the 24 pulling in as well. So pit road a busy place right now, Justin.
Yes, and just taking a look at the replay, there are a lot of heavy hits that could do some pretty good damage to these cars. Jason Berg probably taking one of the biggest hits, as well as the 24 of Chris Walters. Basically T-boned the 21, Chris did, and see if he can't get those cars repaired as they almost collide on pit road. But your top 5 here: Sean Brightsman, your leader; Josh Childress second; Caden Anderson in third; Dylan Huffines in fourth; and Devin Petty rounds out top 5. I'm going to step away for just a quick second. We'll bring you back as we go to green.
Tidricks Quality Transmissions. Come see us today. Thank you.
here at Richmond Raceway. Pace car is off. 46 of Sean Brightsman is away, and we are green once again here for the Tidricks Quality Transmissions 115. A good restart by that 46 and the 7 of Dylan Huffines back to fourth. Just missed that pass for third with Caden Anderson when that wreck occurred, but Caden moving his way up here, Greg.
Yeah, Caden Anderson started in the 12th position after qualifying in the top 5, up to the 3rd spot, and he's putting some pressure on Josh Childress now for the 2nd spot as Sean Brightsman again showing that speed he's got in the early run. Sean Brightsman really has been the guy to go to on the short run so far. We'll see if it stays put on a long run, but right now on the short run, Sean Brightsman's been the guy to beat.
Tell you one guy who's really been using that high side, and I think a little contact between them, Travis McKinney, is going to go around from a little bit of contact with the 42. Oh, and some more contact. The 47 of Josh. Oh, no! Someone is upside down. It is the 24 of Chris Walters.
Man, they kept wrecking all the way down into turn number 1.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
that was... You know, they had a little contact in 3 and 4, and that almost... It doesn't happen here in iRacing. It's almost like he blew a tire in that 48. That doesn't happen on iRacing, but that's about what it looked like. And then you see the 24, Chris Walters, on his lid. A little contact there. That's crazy. That's netcode, but that's about the worst netcode I think I've ever seen.
Cautions breeding cautions, and we're not even all the way under green before more wrecks happen. Definitely odd stuff here at Richmond so far in this one.
That is absolutely insane. You can see he had no idea that was going to happen. Car just stepped out, and he had no time to react. The 48 of Travis McKinney. And then brake locking up there with the 21 and 24. It looked like he shot for a gap that just wasn't quite open, and unfortunately ends up on his lid. Man, that is insane.
So tough break for Chris Walters. In the number 24, we're under yellow on lap 41 of 115. Sean Brightsman leading the way. Josh Childress in second. Caden Anderson in third. Dylan Huffines, Devin Petty rounding out the top 5.
So, here on iRacing, obviously the 24, Chris Walters, couldn't get going, so he had to take a tow, which what that is basically just holding the escape button on your wheel or whatever you have it set as. Basically takes you back to pit road. You're going to have to wait a little bit of time for the simulated tow time. And unfortunately for Chris Walters, that's going to set him, I'd have to guess, at least 2 laps down, if not more, with if he does have required repairs, which will set him on pit road a little longer. But I got to say, that wreck, that's one of the craziest things I've ever seen on iRacing. Unfortunately for the 24, just really had nowhere to go. Just shot for a hole that he thought was there, and unfortunately closed up in a big hurry.
Yeah, tough break. Just one of those weird situations. The caution was out for about 10-15 seconds before that happened. So you have to think Walters was just cruising along trying to get up and lined up. And next thing he knew, he was on his lid. Not sure what had happened there with the 24. So definitely a tough break for him in that 24. But we are under yellow as it looks like we're going 1 to green this time by.
Alright, so we'll try it again here. Sean Brightsman will be your leader on this restart. Josh Childress will start in second. Caden Anderson in third. Dylan Huffines in fourth. Devin Petty rounds out your top 5.
Scott Mann going to start in sixth with Garrett Huffines in seventh. Seth Fraser has moved up 8 spots into the 8th position. Matt Kingsbury, last week's winner, mentioned he was struggling, but he has climbed into the top 10. And Bart Hector Jr. rounding out that top 10 in the 82 as they come to green, Justin.
Yes, sir. Travis McKinney going to have his work cut out for him. 46 is Sean Brightsman on the gas pedal, and we are our way once again. A good restart once again for Sean Brightsman. Josh Childress in second, and it looks like Caden Anderson going to be able to hold on to that 3rd spot. Dylan Huffines up the hill just a little bit in 4th.
Boy, Brightsman, I don't know if he bobbled in the apex of 1 and 2 or what happened, but Childress got a big run off of turn number 2. Wasn't able to make anything happen, but he got right up to the bumper of Brightsman. Brightsman was able to pull away since then. But Childress not going away. He's taking a peek to the inside again. That's the battle for the lead between the 46 and the 77. Childress peeking on the inside of Brightsman.
Seemed like Brightsman was trying to get a little bit higher up the hill, and Josh Childress was taking full advantage of it. Right on the rear bumper. See if he does it again. No, it looks like Brightsman will get down to that yellow line and try and cut off the run from that 77 of Josh Childress. Back there in fourth there, side by side, 3 rows deep. It starts with Dylan Huffines and Devin Petty battling for that fourth spot, and it looks like it'll settle down there.
It'll settle down for the fourth spot between Huffines and Petty, but that just opens the door for Scott Mann to try to break up into the top 5 now on the outside, as he's going to get around Devin Petty, moving to the 5th spot. And he's going to shut the door on Petty and start going to work on young Dylan Huffines. Now he's going to dive down to the inside of Huffines. He's to the door, off of 4, and Mann's going to clear him. Scott Mann making moves now. He's in the 4th spot in the 90.
A beautiful pass there for Scott Mann. See if Dylan Huffines can cross under. He will not. And now it looks like he will come under attack from Devin Petty once again. Garrett Huffines just behind that as well, as Seth Fraser tries to apply the pressure to Garrett.
And I've noticed some damage to the right front of Seth Fraser. One car way up in the marbles. That was the 88 of Rusty Webb off turn number 4. But I noticed some damage to the number 2 of Seth Fraser. Not sure where that came from. Right there on the right front. Does not look like it's affecting him much right now as he goes to work on Garrett Huffines, but we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that and see if it worsens on that 2 car.
That one car that went up the hill caught my attention for just a quick second. Mentioned it was Rusty Webb. That gets all settled down, and everybody for the most part up here is single file, but nose to tail, and a little bit of contact between the 98 and the 82. Checks up just a little bit behind them as Ryan Worley up to 11th, so he's made his way up through the field here pretty well. 20th last time I saw him, up to 11th, trying to break into the top 10 here.
Yeah, good job by all 3 guys there, as Kingsbury looked like he checked up just enough to allow Bart Hector Jr. to just touch him in the back. Good save by Kingsbury. Hector did a great job to check off, and also a great job by Worley to not run in the back of Hector. Great job by all 3 of those guys there to keep it clean.
Battle for second. Caden Anderson going to go to the inside of the 77 of Josh Childress. He will make the pass. See if Childress can't get under him. He will not. Looked like he had a run, but had to back out of the throttle. So Caden Anderson up to second now, and will hunt down the lead. That is Sean Brightsman.
Brightsman has a half a second lead last time by, and it's now 7/10. Not surprised as the battle had broke out. Another battle breaking out back here between Dylan Huffines and Devin Petty for the 5th spot. Petty took a swipe going into turn number 1, but Huffines was able to shut the door as Petty now taking a peek to the inside, but he's a little bit too far back to make a move now in the 12.
And I mean all but spun himself out. Dylan Huffines did the way he chopped down, but he's able to shut the door pretty well and hold on to that top 5 position at the moment. Good battle, looking like it's starting to develop behind them with Garrett Huffines and the 82 of Bart Hector Jr. as he goes up the track, and Ryan Worley trying to take that top 10 position away.
And Worley to the inside of Hector, now to the door. Ryan Worley, remember, had to race his way up through the B main, started 18th, finished 4th in that one, started 20th in this one, has worked his way up into the 11th spot. So Ryan Worley definitely showing that he has something to say, and he's trying to follow up that 3rd place finish at USA last week.
And now the battle is on between Dylan Huffines and Devin Petty. Took a pretty good look down that front straightaway that time and is right on the rear bumper. And it seemed like that's kind of drawn that pack behind him in, as Ryan's still trying to complete that pass to the inside. But here goes Devin Petty underneath the 7. Couldn't quite make it work in turn 1.
Yeah, it looked like Huffines just a little bit better on entry of the corners. We'll see what happens here this time. Petty does not make a move. Meanwhile, behind that, Seth Fraser taking a peek to the inside of Garrett Huffines. That's Dylan's older brother. But right here, this is where Dylan seems to be better.
Ooh, contact!
Petty. Contact between Fraser and Huffines. They all keep pointing the same direction, but Seth Fraser, little bit of contact between him and Garrett to make his way up. Kingsbury thought about it, but now Huffines able to get back to the inside.
And I don't think Garrett was too pleased about that move from Seth Fraser. Really got it inside in turn 3. Couldn't quite complete the pass, but let him know that he was there, and I'm sure didn't appreciate that. Some pretty good contact as they entered turn 1 that last time by.
Oh! Dylan Huffines with a big slide off turn number 2 as Petty had gotten to his door, and Huffines with a big slide.
Still struggling with it.
There in turn number 3. Handle going away on the 7 as Petty able to get in front of him, and now Seth Fraser to the inside.
That thing sounded like it was about ready to spin out as he now battles Seth Fraser on the inside there. We'll have to hold him off from the outside. Good run down the back straightaway. See what they can do entering turn 3, but side by side, 2 rows deep, you see there just behind, Mathew Kingsbury going to take the spot away from the 42 as he looks to the inside. Going to be 4 wide down that front straightaway. Oh, contact!
Fraser gets in the... Huffines just barely misses getting clipped by Ryan Worley. Huffines comes to a stop. Everyone will avoid him, but they were battling it out. Contact was made, and Dylan Huffines is going to get the worst of it in the 7 car.
And it was looking like that was boiling over for a few laps there. Something was getting ready to happen. And see there, the 7 gets into the 2 and does a really good job, everybody else, of staying off of Dylan there. See if we can't take a better look. This is on board with the 7. Going to be entering turn 1 as they head in. Contact and sends them around, and this is the really scary part. Wow, Ryan Worley did a great job of just barely missing him.
Wait, great job by Ryan Worley to miss the spinning car of Dylan Huffines. Not surprised Seth Fraser has been given a penalty. He is going to the back, so fast time Seth Fraser now is going to have his work cut out for him as he's going to have to make his way back up through the field.
Taking another look at that, you saw it from there. Almost looked like Dylan just didn't quite know who the 2 was, but either way, did make contact with Seth Fraser and unfortunately sends him around, and both of them will go to the rear.
So, just past halfway here at Richmond International Raceway, it has been Sean Brightsman, the story of this one, getting the lead rather early and has checked out since then. Great run for the 46 of Sean Brightsman.
Why don't we see if we can't pull up the leader here, Sean Brightsman, see if we can't get a word with him, Greg.
Let's do it.
Might not be in here taking a look.
Trying to find Brightsman's radio channel. Sean Brightsman, Greg Rentz up in the tower. You got a copy?
Got you loud and clear.
Hey, Sean, you've shown a lot of power on those restarts, doing a great job making that inside lane work, but a new challenger up there in second with Caden Anderson, but man, you got that car hooked up on those short runs, it looks like.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good out there. I'm able to get all the power of the super late model down and come off turn 2 enough and get a good start and then good exit out of turn 2.
All right, Sean, you've done a good job fending off challenges from Josh Childress and the Huffines brothers, but now you got a new challenger with Caden Anderson who's making his debut up there. We'll see how you can hold on to it, but man, a top 5 last week, and here you are leading the way. Got to feel good to be running this good at the start of the year.
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, this is some stiff competition. Caden, Josh, Scott, man, all these guys are top-notch drivers, so it's feels great to be leading and pulling away at times. So.
All right, man, you're leading past the halfway point. A little less than halfway to go. We'll let you get back and get focused to try to seal this one, but good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Greg.
And that was Sean Brightsman, leader in the number 46. 4th place last weekend at USA International as they get the 1 to green. But Brightsman, 4th place last week, leading the way so far here this one. This has been a good showing here to start the year off for the 46, Justin.
Yes, sir, it has. And ever since he took the lead away from the 3 of Daniel Masters, he's looked good out front. But as you mentioned, it'll be Caden Anderson up to second who will give him a new challenge. Josh Childress just behind him in 3rd. 90 of Scott Mann in 4th, and Devin Petty rounds out the top 5 here as we head into turn 3, ready to restart. That a little bit past halfway, 50 laps to go. It'll be 49 once we take the green. The pace car is off. A little bit of advantage there for Caden, and Sean Brightsman, not as great of a restart as we've seen, but does clear the 37 as he dives down into turn 1. Scott Mann will try and challenge for 3rd there.
Now, all things considered, that was still another great restart by Sean Brightsman, considering that Anderson had a little bit of a nose in front of him.
Oh. 82 spins behind him. Bart Hector Jr., a lot of cars colliding at the entrance to turn 3. I think it was the 88 who got up on his side and just about turned it over. See the 48 there as well. Travis McKinney involved.
There was contact between Hector and another car. It looked like the 80 of Paulson, and man, a lot of cars getting collected in that one on the backstretch. Fortunately, saw there just a little bit. The 88 coming up in front, I believe, and the 88 getting caught up in it. There's nowhere to go. This is on board. Take a better look at where that started, but the 48, yeah, just nowhere to go. Thankfully, kind of phased through that one. Unfortunately, didn't miss the second part. Bruce Weaver getting caught up in that as well. Other cars getting involved. Tough break. A lot of guys who were really starting to make some noise in the middle of the field getting caught up in that one on lap 66. Looked like that all started with the 82 just loose off turn 2. Whether he got the wall or not, I did not quite see. But either way, he gets that car loose, and unfortunately, that's what sets off this multi-car incident at the entrance of turn 3. So, tough break for a lot of guys up there. Lap 69 of 115 in the Tidricks Quality Transmission 115. Tonight's race brought to you by Tidricks Quality Transmission, serving Yakima and the surrounding areas with quality service and quality products. Tidricks Quality Transmission, proud sponsor of the iRacing.com Northwest Tour, presented by Joe's Racing Products. A lot of cars on pit road at the moment trying to repair damage. A reminder, they cannot change tires, so the tires they started the race with is the tires they will keep. And unfortunately for a lot of these guys, good damaged race cars, and a lot of them with good race cars in general. The 48 of Travis McKinney. No, he had a fast car involved in a few incidents here tonight. See the 24 Chris Walters, and again involved in a few incidents back on pit road. So has been the greatest night for some of these guys who have had to take returning trips. And I know that's got to be a tough break for the 48 of McKinney, because he won the B main. He dominated the B main, led every single lap in that one. Second straight week that the guy who started on the pole has led every lap in the B main. But tough break for McKinney as he was making headway through the field throughout the middle stages of that one. To get caught up in a wreck like that, definitely a tough pill to swallow for that 48 car. Well, good news for him, though. It's still pretty early in the season, and see if he can't recover from pretty subpar race that I'm sure he'd want to forget here tonight. But he's still got some ways to go. See if he can't work his way back up. But I'm sure that car is not quite to his liking here, as probably just took the 2 to go. We'll take a look as we get to the start-finish line here once again. But Sean Brightsman, your leader. Caden Anderson in 2nd, Josh Childress in 3rd, Scott Mann in 4th, and Devin Petty rounds out your top 5 here tonight. And real quick before we go through the rest of the field, James Paulson was given a penalty as a result of the contact with Bart Hector Jr. So Paulson sent to the back. Just saw that Rusty Webb has disconnected for the night. Rusty Webb has disconnected from this one as we get set to go back green on lap 72 here at Richmond. Most of the field, before we get racing here once again, most of the field still on the lead lap. It appears that the first car a lap down is the 24 of Chris Walters in 22nd position. Travis McKinney appears that he is still on pit road. Whether he is done for the night, we have yet to see, as the pace car is off. 46 of Caden Anderson, another good restart, as the 37 had the advantage there, but
Clears him once again. Josh Childress will be fighting for second spot and backs out of it. Almost a little contact there.
Battle be for third between Childress and Mann. Pays off for Childress right now. They kind of bottled up a little bit around 7th spot. Donovan Stevens looked like he got the worst of that in the 5 car.
Oh, contact in the back of the field. The 3 and the 82 as the 82 goes around, and that will bring up caution once again.
Couple of guys that were trying to work their way back through the field, making contact, and once again, cautions breeding cautions, just like last week. And a couple more cars got caught up in that. Tidrick, Daryl Tidrick, was one of them.
Fortunately for that 24, it just can't get the break tonight. We'll have to take a better look at what happened there, because that almost looked like there was still a good gap in between them. This is on board with the 24, I believe. Oh, man. Riding on board with the 24, and unfortunately happened right in front of him and nowhere to go. So let's take another look at this. It almost looked like there was still a gap between the 3 and the 82. Still some good contact there, and up towards the wall. Unfortunately, the 45 of Daryl Tidrick, nowhere to go on that one. All right. Well, Sean Breitzman's still your leader here. Caden Anderson still in second. Josh Childress, your third place runner at the moment. Scott Mann in fourth, and Devin Petty rounds out your top 5. We're going to step away for just a quick second. We'll bring you the green flag on the other end.
Tidrick's Quality Transmissions. Come see us today. Thank you.
Welcome you back to Richmond Raceway here tonight for the Tidricks Quality Transmissions 115 for the iRacing Northwest Tour presented by Joe's Racing Products. 38 laps to go, thinking it should be around 36 to go when we take the green here, Greg, and I have to imagine that intensity's already been picking up gradually. It's starting to get that much more intensive.
And Sean Breitzman has done a great job on the restarts, but Caden Anderson, he has been poking his nose in front, coming to the green the last couple of times. Maybe the 37 starting to play a little bit of head games with the 46 here as we get late to it. Anderson making his debut as we did get the 1 to green, but I'm going to be keeping my eyes on that 37 car, see if maybe he's playing head games with Breitzman, see if maybe he can trick him out into a mistake and try to capitalize.
Definitely done it the past 2 restarts, and you've seen it, and I feel like at some point, Greg, you got to try something with as good as that 46 has been here tonight. Been getting a few cautions that have kind of broken the run apart, so see if he can't pull anything on this restart. It'll be Sean Breitzman, your leader, Caden Anderson in second, Josh Childress in third, Scott Mann in fourth, Devin Petty rounds out your top 5 as pace car gets ready to pull in. It does. Caden Anderson pulls out once again, and a good restart from the 46, but it'll be dead even as they get to the line. This is the first time we've seen this here tonight. Sean Brightsman will get the advantage as they head into turn 1, but that was possibly the best restart from Caden Anderson we've seen here tonight.
And he got a little bit of help because the 46 had a little bit of contact with the 77 of Childress on that restart there. Almost looks like Brightsman may have spun the tires a little bit. Devin Petty off the pace, pulling in the 12.
He had been blinking a little bit there before, so I think wisely pulling off pit road, noticing his connection issues, and didn't want to get in the way of any other competitors here tonight. Either way, it's going to hurt him a shot at a good finish as if he pulls into pit road or his pit box here.
So tough break for Devin Petty, running up near the top 5 all day, but still action on the track. Josh Childress peeking to the inside of Caden Anderson for the 2nd spot. Battle going on back there around the 10th spot, side by side, but
really up the track. The 7 of Dylan Huffines up into the wall, was riding that high side all the way around turns 1 and 2 and made some pretty good contact with that turn 2 wall. Not sure what caused that, but that has to be some serious damage on that 7.
Keeps it going for now.
Overshot the wall or the entrance there, and some pretty good contact with the wall. A lot less than I had initially thought, but either way, you're going to lose a ton of track position for a guy that was contesting for a top 5 spot earlier in the race.
Battle going on for the 4th spot now. Scott Mann and last week's winner, Mathew Kingsbury, he's made his way up into the top 5 now. He's going after Manford 4th, and look who's creeping up behind them in the 6th spot. Ryan Worley from the B main has climbed up into the 6th spot. He started 18th in the B main. He's up to 6th in the A main right now, getting here to nitty-gritty time.
Biggest mover on the track, plus 14 for that 15, and has slowly and quietly worked his way up through the field from 20th all the way up to the 6th spot at the moment, and could possibly be battling for the lead before it's all said and done. I don't think we've quite seen what that car has to offer in all of its glory there, as the 98 tries to get underneath the 37 of Caden Anderson. He loses the spot to the 77 of Josh Childress.
Yeah, Childress getting the spot for 2nd. Going back to the 15 of Worley real quick, you mentioned plus 14 in the A main. He was also plus 14 in the B main.
Oh, contact behind! A big wreck into turn 3. See the 72 of BJ Tidrick around, and I believe the 80 of James Paulson was involved as well.
Seth Fraser as well looked like got caught up in that one in the number 2. Quick time tonight.
Jason Berg and BJ Tidrick with some contact entering turn 3 there. Fortunately, Seth Fraser involved in that one as well.
And was that the 24 of Walters that got caught up after the fact as well?
Man, that would sure be a shame. Hasn't been able to catch a break here tonight. Wow, some good contact.
No, it was not him. Was not him. Got fooled by a car. That was the 80 of Paulson. Same kind of paint scheme on that one. Boy, Dylan Huffines did a great job there as well.
The 72 of BJ Tidrick down pit road. Well, we have some time here. 37 of Caden Anderson losing that 2nd spot away. Greg, why don't we see if we can't talk to the man who has been challenging Sean Brightsman for the lead these past couple restarts.
Yeah, let's see if we can dial up the 37 of Caden Anderson.
Yep, he's here.
Looking for him, looking for his radio channel. Caden Anderson, Greg Rentz in the tower, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
All right, Caden, you're making your 2018-2019 debut here in the Northwest Tour. Doing a pretty good job, making some headway through. Started 12th, getting up as high as 2nd. Contending for the lead with Sean Brightsman. You're sitting in the 3rd spot right now. Closing stages of this one, getting the nitty-gritty time. Do you like what you got here for the final shot?
Yeah, the car feels really good. We're struggling with a little bit tight off of 2, but I feel like we can have a shot here at the end.
All right, Caden Anderson, you're starting in the 3rd spot. You got to get back around Childress and Brightsman, but don't look now because last week's winner, Kingsbury, going to be starting to your outside now, but man, it's got to be fun for you to be up here battling for the lead on your first night in the series this year.
Yeah, it's super fun. I raced one race last year and didn't have the best of luck, but we're doing good right now, and hopefully we can get up there.
All right, man. Getting ready to start off in the 3rd spot. Good luck tonight, and we'll see if maybe you can make something happen here at the end.
Thank you.
That was Caden Anderson, number 37 car, sitting in the 3rd spot. We rack him up top 5. Sean Breitzman has had the lead from the early stages and has not let go since, fending off challenges from Josh Childress, who sits in 2nd, and Caden Anderson in 3rd. Mathew Kingsbury, winner last weekend at USA International in the Tough Enough to Race Pink 150 in 4th, and Scott Mann rounding out your top 5.
Just behind them, Ryan Worley has slowly and steadily made his way up through the field there in the 6th spot. Donovan Stevens in the 7th position. Garrett Huffines in 8th was battling up front earlier and trying to make his way back up there. Vernon Margheim up in 9th, and Bruce Weaver will round out your top 10.
So a couple of guys from the B main up into the top 5 or top 10. Ryan Worley in the 15. Bruce Weaver up in the 10th now. He was in the B main as well. Lights are out on the pace car. We're going green this time by, Ryan. I'm sorry, Justin. I got my gigs mixed up.
No worries. We're going to be going green with 24 laps to go, and Sean Breitzman continues the lead. Not going to have quite the challenger on the outside in terms of restarts games is concerned. But Breitzman on the pedal. Josh Childress blinks out there for a quick second, and Breitzman early to the lead there as they enter turn 1. It'll be the battle for 3rd between Caden Anderson and Mathew Kingsbury.
Anderson hanging tough, but Kingsbury makes the outside lane work as he gets the 3rd spot down the backstretch.
Oh,
It's
contact!
Kingsbury. And 1 car around the 3 of Masters.
24 almost involved in it again as he was able to slow it up.
After the fact, Scott Mann, who was up in the top 5, goes nose first into the inside wall. Entirely separate accident. Not sure what happened, but after the fact, the guy in the top 5 just shoots to the inside.
Well, you saw there on the replay, the 0-2 makes contact with the 3 of Daniel Masters and unfortunately sends the 3 around. 24 barely missing that one. See what happened to the 90 of Scott Mann here on your screen, that red, white, and blue 90. Man, yeah, that's either a blackout or a hardware malfunction, because that was straight off the corner. Wheels probably turned a little bit too, and maybe the wheel disconnected on that 90. Don't like to make assumptions, but something definitely happened to that car. Right the way here, the laps keep clicking down, and we get closer and closer to that checkered flag coming out. And Sean Breitzman has still been holding steady that lead ever since the 3 of Daniel Masters lost it. He took it over and has not let up since, Greg.
Yeah, Sean Breitzman having a good run in that number 46 car. Quick update as a result of that last caution. Todd Connell has been given a penalty. He will be sent to the back. Don't forget the tap-out rule here in the iRacing.com Northwest Tour, brought to you by Joe's Racing Products. You're allowed 2 per race. If you are involved in an accident and you admit saying, hey, that was my bad, it's all my bad, and you can drop to the back, you take responsibility. You're allowed 2 per. If you have 2 or more that are your fault, it's not your day. You are parked for the day. So don't forget that rule in effect here on the Northwest Tour.
Well, I want to send our congratulations over to co-owner of 3 Wide TV, Johnny Thomas. Takes the championship and the win in the 3 Wide Racing Nathan Young Designs Truck Series. Wins the championship and the race. So that's pretty cool. Just trying to catch that before we went live here tonight. And thank you, Carlos, Production Truck, for letting me know that news. So congratulations, Johnny. Couldn't quite run for the Cup Championship. Missed it by just a bit last week at Phoenix. But either way, it brings another championship home to Johnny Thomas Racing. So our congratulations go out to Johnny.
So congratulations indeed going out. But we still got racing here. All right, Justin, waiting to go. A little less than 20 laps to go. Who do you got winning this thing?
Well, I mean, it's going to be pretty hard to beat Sean Brightsman up there in that first spot. I know that's an easy pick out, but I wouldn't count out Caden Anderson either. Showed some strength up there, but my pick is Sean.
I gotta say, the one I'm keeping my eye on is the guy sitting in 5th right now, Brian Worley, all the way from the B main. He started 18th in the B main. Ryan Worley up to 5th in the A main, and still a lot of laps left to go. I'm keeping my eye on that 15 car. I think he may have something to say by the time this one's done.
And just heard Carlos Costa in the production truck picks Mathew Kingsbury, last week's winner. Either way, great picks, all in that inside row lined up. A pace car will pull off here. It'll be 18 laps to go, and we take the green. Sean Brightsman still your leader. Off on the restart. Green flag is out. Another fantastic restart from that 46, and it'll be the battle for second between Kingsbury and Josh Childress.
Man, look at Donovan Stevens, the number 5. He got up there into the top 5 now. Donovan Stevens, the B-main winner last week in the USA International, up into the top 5. He may have something to say before this one's done.
The 42 of Garrett Huffines falling back towards the field there, but the race is up front. The 46 getting challenged by last week's winner, the 98 of Kingsbury. Almost to the back bumper he is, and could be challenging for this lead as we enter turn 3.
Brightsman doing a good job keeping the 98 at bay for now. Caution on the track.
The 02 of Todd Connell around on the back straightaway. See Daniel Masters, not sure if he was involved, but leaving the crash scene slowly. Could see a possible payback move here. Oh no, just riding the apron there for the 02. And got loose down the back straightaway, couldn't ever quite catch it. And unfortunately, the 3 of Daniel Masters involved in that one.
So tough break for Todd Connell. Getting a points provisional out of the B main to get back up here in the A main. He's had a rough go here this afternoon, but we'll see if Todd Connell can maybe try to salvage something here at the end. And nope, looks like he has been disqualified per the tap out rule. That's the second time he's been involved in something like that. Todd Connell done for the afternoon or evening.
All right, so it'll be Sean Brightsman, your leader at the moment. Mathew Kingsbury will take over the second spot. Josh Childress in 3rd. Caden Anderson in 4th. Donovan Stevens in 5th. Going to step away one more time. We'll take you to the checkered flag when we come back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Do you have an old crap can like this taking up space in your driveway? Are you still holding on to your old high school whip? Did your aunt run off to Alaska with her boyfriend and leave her shitbox Cadillac sitting next to your house? If so, call Woffords Towing. They haul off junk cars just like these, and they even pay you cash for those old clunkers. So let's recap. We take your pile of crap, we put it in our state-of-the-art pancake maker, and we squeeze out all the cash. Woffords Towing and Auto Wrecking, 201 South Frontage Road, Wapato, 509-877-4944.
All right, welcome back to Richmond Raceway here tonight for the Tidricks Quality Transmissions 115 here tonight for the iRacing Northwest Tour presented by Joe's Racing Products. Got the one to go here. It'll be 11 laps to go when we take the green here, Greg.
Yeah, getting set for crunch time here at Richmond. Sean Brightsman, he has been the guy on the short runs, so you have to think this would play to his advantage, but he's got last week's winner, Matt Kingsbury, to his outside. Okay, Anderson taking a peak high. Green flag.
What? What has happened? This has been a messed up restart. The 15 going to go around, collects the 36.
Huge crash on the front stretch. Not sure what happened there. It almost looked as if Kingsbury wasn't expecting to go green that time by because he kind of took it slow there on the start. Anderson shot to the outside, and they all bottlenecked behind him.
Almost like that 98 just didn't get going on that restart. Like you said, either didn't expect it or what, but they went 3 wide there, and that got everything all sorts of messed up. The 36 of Bruce Weaver.
Props to Caden Anderson for realizing what was going on, realizing he cannot advance his position before the line, slammed on his brakes. Unfortunately, that is what bottled up the whole field behind him. And Ryan Worley, Bruce Weaver, among others, Vernon Margheim getting in it. Tough break for some guys who were in the mix there at the end.
And you can see riding on board with the 15 of Ryan Worley. Just hit the brakes, and then the guys behind didn't expect the checkup. And it was the 36 who got into the 15 there. And unfortunately, it takes some good cars. Not sure quite out of it, but definitely with some damage here tonight. That 15 of Ryan Worley was definitely fast, and he's going to have a lot of it. I'm not sure what happened to that 98, but that's kind of what set all that off. Not saying it's his fault, but something definitely happened. Either maybe hardware or didn't expect it to go green, and unfortunately checked it all up, and not everybody saw it as quick as the others.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked, like I said, it looked like Kingsbury wasn't ready for the green almost. Like, he never hit the gas. Anderson kind of went to the outside. He gunned it when the green fell. Brightsman got a great start. Anderson realized what was happening and slammed on the brakes because you cannot advance your position before the line. And they just bottlenecked behind him, and Ryan Worley getting the worst of it. That's got to be a heartbreaker for Ryan Worley the way his day has gone. Plus 14 spots in the B main, got up plus 14 in this one, plus 15 at one point. And to have that be how his day ends, tough break for him.
Absolutely, and this is going to shake a lot of things up here. Sean Brightsman still your leader. Josh Childress up to second. But how about Donovan Stevens up to third? Mathew Kingsbury in fourth. Caden Anderson fifth. And we're going to take a restart with, I'd have to guess, 5 laps to go. And any flag after that most likely will end it.
Light's still on the pace car, so it's going to be at least one more lap after this one before we get back green. But boy, what a shakeup there in the top 5 after that. We'll see how this plays out. Vernon Margheim, he's riding in the 6th spot right now, but he was caught up in that as well, the 42 of Garrett Huffines. But I'm worried about that 33 car right now because he took a pretty decent shot from Ryan Worley in that accident. He's sitting in the 6th spot right now, so he clearly thinks that he can finish it out, but I'm worried about that 33 car and if he'll be able to finish it off here for the final few laps.
Got word the O2 of Todd Connell, who had already been disqualified, and the 90 of Scott Mann off the track, as well as Rusty Webb and Jason Berg, I see. So got the lights out on the pace car, going to be going this time.
And we have gotten the penalties report from that one. Both Caden Anderson and Mathew Kingsbury, given penalties, they will restart at the back in the closing stages.
This just shakes everything up even more. Front row going to be the same, but Donovan Stevens, Vernon Margheim, and Garrett Huffines going to round out your top 5. Sean Breitzman and Josh Childress going to be your front row. Pace car is off. 5 laps to go. Who takes it here tonight? Breitzman with a good restart, and Childress will be in second.
Another good restart for Sean Breitzman. Look at Bart Hector Jr. A couple of wrecks earlier today. He's up in the 6th spot knocking on the door at the end of that yellow 82 car. He's making some noise here at the end.
Looking for a good finish here tonight. That 82, as mentioned, got caught up in a few of them here tonight. Looking solid here as we take 4 laps to go, so the next flag will end it, and there goes the 77 of Josh Childress around, and as soon as I say that, caution is out, the 5 of Donovan Stevens in the wall, and this race is over. Oh, and some more contact after the race, or after the flag came out, the 77 of Josh Childress and the 5 of Donovan Stevens.
Boy, 2nd and 3rd there. Childress and Stevens got together a little bit off turn number 4.
And I don't know if you can place the blame on Donovan Stevens there. The 77 did get out of shape off turn 4 a little bit, got the wall, and Josh Childress has called it an end, I guess, here tonight. Was on board with the 5 of Donovan Stevens. Someone else is around. The 36 of Bruce Weaver is around entering turn 1. Yeah, I'm not sure when that happened. I think possibly exiting pit road, but I'm not sure what happened there, but you do see him turned around. Taking a look at this. Wow. Almost like he shifted it into the wrong gear there. Well.
Wild one here at the end.
But, yep. Shifted into the wrong gear there. Heard it there. And, well, Greg, this race is going to end up nothing like we thought it would. Sean Breitzman going to take home the win here tonight. But you mentioned Vernon Margheim in that 33. Mentioned didn't know if he'd have a good enough car to get it to the end here tonight. He's somehow going to come home in second. Garrett Huffine's going to come home in third.
And how about a top 5 for Bart Hector Jr.? That's got to be
Absolutely.
a big feel-good story for him. Battling Hodgkin's lymphoma, still committed to the full season, and here he is. He's going to get a top 5 in race number 2 in a race that he had some issues in the middle stages of that one. Got caught up in a couple of accidents, and here he is. He's going to pull off a top 5. That's got to be a feel-good for Bart Hector Jr.
Absolutely. And mentioned before, involved in a few of them here tonight. And going to come home with that top 5. Got to be a good feeling.
Rounding out the top 5, from the B main, Josh Robinson makes his way through, finished 3rd in the B main, and here he is. He is going to finish with a top 5 here in the Tidrick Quality Transmissions, but off of turn number 4, under yellow, checkered flag, winner of race number 2 on the Northwest Tour, Sean Breitzman takes it home.
Not quite how we thought that race would end, but nonetheless, an exciting one here tonight at the Richmond Raceway for the Tidrick Quality Transmissions 115. Sean Breitzman going to get around to the front straightaway and burn him down for his first win of the season.
So Sean Breitzman, he had that thing dialed up for the short run, and it proved to work out, as really the longest run of the race was the opening segment, where we went about 22 laps. Sean Breitzman had the perfect setup for short runs, and that is what paid off here today for that number 46 car, as he's going to park it here on the front stretch. Your winner, Sean Breitzman, in the number 46. Vernon Margheim and Garrett Huffines rounding out the podium.
So they're going to get set up for a little picture there on the front straightaway, just in front, or just on the start-finish line. And, man, I'm still just kind of in awe of what we just saw here tonight, Greg. Some of the best cars up at the front of the field here tonight do not get the finishing positions they thought they would probably deserve, and some of the guys I didn't think we'd be talking to here at the end of the night going to come home with some good finishes.
Yeah, definitely a big shakeup, and this is going to be a huge shakeup in the point standings for sure. As points leader coming in, Jason Berg, DNF 30 laps down. Matt Hackathorn was up in the top 5. He didn't even start the main event. Mathew Kingsbury, last week's winner, given penalties under the second to last caution. This is going to be a huge shakeup in the points.
Absolutely. And man, from guys not making the B main or making the A main to some of these guys not getting the finishes they want, it's going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out once points are tallied. It looks like, all right, looks like they got that all set up. Greg, why don't you talk with the winner here tonight, that 46 of Sean Brightsman?
Yeah, let's see if we can dial him up. Hey, Sean Brightsman, Greg Rentz in the tower. Do you have me?
I got you.
Hey, man, it worked off. Short runs seeming to be the difference maker here today. You hold off every challenge that came your way. You have won the Tidricks Quality Transmission. How's it feel?
Yeah, it feels great. I'm just proud of everybody on Wicked Chassis Racing, all my sponsors for helping me out, getting me here. Walls Beard Co. Virtual Racing Network, and then of course our race sponsor, Tidricks Transmission 115. So just happy to win this race here at Richmond.
All right, Sean Brightsman, top 5s in both races to start the season off. You're the only driver to do so. You got to feel good about that as we get through the early stages of this one.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. I know Matt was coming pretty quick, and it was going to be a tough one for sure. So he was definitely coming, and if he hadn't missed that shift, I think it would have been a nice battle there to the finish.
All right, Sean Brightsman, we'll let you go celebrate. Congratulations, sir. You're winner tonight in the Tidricks Quality Transmission 115 in Richmond. Sean Brightsman, congratulations, Sean.
Thank you, Greg.
And that was Sean Brightsman, your winner here in the number 46. And Justin, let's catch up with our second place guy, Vernon Margheim.
Yes, sir. Vern, you got a copy?
10-4, I got a copy.
All right, well, you took a couple big hits there earlier in the race, and it seemed like everyone kind of got shuffled up on that restart. You took full advantage, come home with a second place finish here tonight. How'd that all happen, man?
Well, the big thing was the beginning of the race. I think halfway through is when I started getting on the pedal a little bit more than everybody else was. I saved my tires. I wasn't even on it for the first half, and then just started taking advantage of everybody else's mistakes. This certified Toyota Camry tonight was just flawless. Great tires all the way through. Goodyear brought out a great tire for us. I want to thank everybody with the Northwest Tour for allowing me to come in all the way from Indiana. Originally from Yakima, Washington, but proud to race with these guys day in and day out.
Absolutely. So a good finish here tonight. Some good momentum heading into next week's race here, Vern, you think?
Oh, definitely. And again, you just got to save your stuff at the beginning of these races. Let these guys all pan out and let the cautions fly when they're going to fly, and take advantage of it while you can.
Absolutely, and you played that to perfection here tonight, Vern. Before we let you go, I already thanked a few sponsors. Any more you got to thank before we let you go here?
Oh, absolutely. GTR Simulator. They've been with me for now 4 years. And then IndianaDiesel.com. If you guys are looking for any diesel parts, diesel engines, check out IndianaDiesel.com. Thanks for having us out tonight, guys, and thanks for broadcasting. Doing a great job.
Absolutely. Congratulations on the second place finish here, Vern, and we hope to talk to you next week as well.
10-4. Thank you.
All right, that was 33 of Vernon Margheim. Greg, I believe you caught up with our third place finisher here tonight.
Yeah, we're going to speak with the 42, Garrett Huffines. And Garrett, up and down night for you, but hey, it works out. You come away with a podium here tonight. You finished third. Great run, young man.
Thanks.
All right, Garrett, definitely up and down battle. You battled with your brother for a little bit there. Got caught up a little bit there in that incident. Looked like you caught just a smidge of damage. Tell us what happened there at the very end.
It looks like the 5 just ran straight through the 77.
All right, Garrett, definitely keeping it short and sweet here. He's happy with the 3rd place. Garrett, who do you want to thank here for this 3rd place?
I'd like to thank everybody that sponsors this iRacing Northwest Tour. I'd like to thank BJ for putting it on these last 2 years. I'd like to thank Seth and all these guys for doing a good job creating setups, and I'd like to thank Mike Wood for the nice paint scheme.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming home in 3rd, number 42, Garrett Huffines.
All right, that was your 3rd place finisher, and I believe we have caught up with the 98 of Mathew Kingsbury here tonight. Matthew, you got a copy?
I do.
All right, well, 12th place is where the scoreboard's going to say here tonight, but you definitely had a much better car than that. Just got word that missed a shift on that restart.
Yeah, actually stupider than that. Actually, I had left it in 3rd, thought I had clicked it into 2nd for the start, and just once I got in it, there was nothing there, and everybody went around me, so it's a bummer because I was really, really quick, and I'd saved my tires even chipping my way through the field, and I absolutely think I had something for him there for the last few laps if we could have stayed green, but wasn't meant to be.
Absolutely, and as you just mentioned, slowly worked your way through the field. Definitely looked like you had a fast car here tonight, and could have possibly contended for that win with Sean there.
Yeah, you know, coming all the way from the back, the rule is you got to start from the rear, and winning last week I had to literally start dead last and just try to pick my way through, not force anything, and just let the race come to me, and then to be there in 2nd at the end and to kind of mess that up was just heartbreaking, man.
Absolutely. Well, before we let you go here tonight, we want to give you a chance to thank the sponsors that made it all possible here tonight.
Yeah, I don't have anybody officially. I had Mike Wood, I guess would be the only one I would thank. He put all that together on my car this week and did a great job, and it looks amazing. And then thank my wife again for letting me do it. So that's all.
All right. Well, Matt, unfortunately come home 12th here tonight, but I know you had definitely a faster car than that. We wish you the best of luck come next week here.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, that was Mathew Kingsbury. Definitely had a fast car here tonight, Greg.
Yeah, Mathew Kingsbury definitely with a great job, but just a tough break for him there at the end. But Justin, this wraps it up for the Tidricks Quality Transmission 115, race number 2 in the books.
Yes, sir. Before we let you go here tonight, I want to take you through where everybody finished, because, man, did everybody get scrambled those last, 10 laps. Sean Breitzman comes home in the 1st position, led 102 laps here tonight, so just about all of them. Vernon Margheim comes home in the 2nd spot. Garrett Huffines in 3rd. Bart Hector Jr. comes home in 4th. A fantastic finish for that 82 here tonight. Josh Robertson comes home with the top 5 here tonight. Dylan Huffines in 6th. James Paulson in 7th. Daryl Tidrick in 8th. Chris Walters 9th. And Ryan Worley will round out your top 10.
My results aren't showing, so Justin, you're going to have to wrap this one up. My results are not showing.
Yes, sir. Bruce Weaver going to come home in 11th here tonight. Mathew Kingsbury, just talked to him, comes home in 12th. Definitely had a fast car there. BJ Tidrick comes home in 13th. Caden Anderson as well made his way up towards the front. He had a flying fast race car. Unfortunately, doesn't get the result that he wanted. Daniel Masters, our early pole sitter here tonight. And other than Sean Breitzman, he was the leader of he was the 2nd race leader here tonight. Donovan Stevens comes home in 16th. Josh Childers in 17th. Another fast race car there for the 77. Seth Fraser in 18th. Todd Connell in 19th. Travis McKinney, the B-main winner, comes home in the top 20. And then we have Scott Mann in 21st. Jason Berg, who was the points leader coming into tonight, going to take a pretty big hit here tonight in 22nd. Devin Petty, 23rd. Rusty Webb rounds out the field here in 24th, Greg.
So that wraps things up. Great runs here from a lot of guys, and that was a fun race to watch there, Justin.
Yes, sir, it was, and man, definitely wasn't the finish we saw or we thought we would see, but a lot of guys, as they mentioned, saving tires early here tonight and worked their way up towards the front. And at the end of it all, Sean Breitzman comes home with the win. Well, if you liked what you saw here tonight, definitely want to have you come back next week. Greg, you can explain next week, or 2 weeks, excuse me. Yes, that's right, we have a break. But tomorrow night, want to welcome you back for the 3-Wide Race Kings Cup Series season finale. 3 drivers come home, or will go to Homestead with a chance to win it all. Cameron Rich, Chuck Sweeting, and Paul Ross, your 3 championship contenders. One of them gonna go home a champion. Gonna have to find out tomorrow, same time, different place. We'll decide who wins that championship next or tomorrow, Greg.
Yeah, so good luck to all of those guys racing in that race tomorrow night. Good luck to those racing for a championship. Our next race is going to come 2 weeks from tonight, coming to you at 7:30 p.m. at New Hampshire International Speedway. That's the next time the iRacing.com Northwest Tour, brought to you by Joe's Racing Products, is in action. Yeah, 7:30 Pacific time, p.m. That's the next time the iRacing.com Northwest Tour, brought to you by Joe's Racing Products, is in action. Once again, coming at New Hampshire.
All right. Well, before we let you go here tonight, I have a few people to thank here. Of course, Joe's Racing Products for sponsoring the series here tonight. They're a manufacturing company that has produced innovative and quality products for the racing industry for more than 28 years. They were established in a small garage in 1989, and Joe has grown the company from a staff of more than 45 employees in a 25,000 square foot facility that has state-of-the-art CNC machinery along with several time welders. We thank Joe's Racing Products for sponsoring the series here tonight. I also want to thank Track Cams 4 Gourmet for the amazing camera angles you saw here tonight. If you want to learn more or download the pack for iRacing.com, it's www.trackcams22.com, or find them on Facebook. That is Track Cams 4 Gourmet once again. So we wish you, or we hope to see you back here tomorrow night, once again, crowning the champion for the Race Kings Cup Series here tomorrow at Homestead Miami Speedway. 2 weeks time, we go to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. For Greg Rentz, I'm Justin Kolb, as well as Carlos Acosta. We hope to see you once again tomorrow, and good night here from Richmond Raceway.